sometimes major change is brought about by things you've done. Maybe you decide to quit substances for good or something. You lay a part of your character you just kill it.
Yeah, intentionally.
Right, but it's still a part of you.
Yeah, you were talking about
It goes into who you are. Like a tree loses its leaf every year. The leaf turns into the dust. It becomes part of the cycle of, but I feel like our own story is that.
Yeah, like the phoenix being born again from its ashes.
The aurora, like the snake eating its own tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely, I even put that, I think I might have put that in like my liner notes on Bandcamp, the snake eating its own tail, or something like that. But yeah, it just fits with the ending of it. Like, it's okay for us to have that kind of a major change and still be ourselves, and still have growth, and so that was part of that builds us who we are.
Yeah, and perhaps, paradoxically, it's through remaining present for that kind of transformation that one remains oneself in the context where it's very possible to lose oneself.
Absolutely.
We're talking about this connection.
Have you ever, like, when you made that decision, where you finally like break down and you're like, I'm doing this, it makes you feel like you're resting finally, like you finally just.
Yeah. Well, because there's a sense that one can trust oneself at least.
Exactly.
And that's a good starting point.
It's a rebirth, again.
Yeah.
It goes back to that, like, let's start over moment. And even in the beginning of the song, sometimes, even when we do start over, I always find it's helpful to remember things from my youth that make me really happy when I was growing up. Like I said, again, some of the more basic things that made me remember who I was as a child.
Like when you were a Campbell soup kid.
When I was eating those Campbell soup cans.
Yeah. Before we move on from Can't Stand Up, we should highlight Bill Quinn is playing the pedal steel there. And Zachary Hollander, who produced and mixed the record, is also playing acoustic guitar and glockenspiel. Yep. So is this...
He's secretly playing those.
Secretly?
Don't tell anyone.
Well, the secret is...
it's out.
It's out, and it's on the back cover of the record.
I know, I made sure of it.
Yeah. You recorded this... Is it the case that you recorded this like in the same sessions as the other songs, even though it was one that you were working on?
Yeah, this is re-recorded.
Yes. So it's not the original that you did with Mike.
Yeah, and then before, some of these songs I actually pre-recorded. I mean, I pre-recorded them all.
Yeah.
That's on my Bandcamp stuff during the pandemic. We worked with Monica and some friends. My friend
Monica
Dave
LaPlante,
Merriman,
of course,
Monica LaPlante, and Dave Merriman. He's out of the Chicago band The Arrivals. He's a friend of mine, but they really helped me learn how to use the Logic software, so I could start recording and work with other people on tracks. And I did some demos of a lot of the songs on this record. I was very proud of it because I was like, "Oh, I'm getting there, and they don't sound terrible."
No.
But that was really helpful because I was able to pre-record all the parts.
Yeah.
And then we never played them live. We went into the studio and recorded them. And I've never done that before. Most of my life I've been in bands that practice the shit out of those songs and play forever and then bang them out as fast as we can, as perfect as we can. So
to capture it like it is live, but in this instance,
but also like usually it's don't have the money to be in the studio that long and mix, so it comes out pretty quick, but at least it's all done in that sense, in like a matter of 2 weeks or whatever. But I got to really like the Hollanders, Noah and Zach gave me a deal on the studio, and that was they're helping me put out the record.
Yeah.
And I got to take some time on this. Thank you guys. I've never done that before, so I've never had the opportunity to use the elements I've had, and having these songs already kind of like really ready to go. And the people I work with my band are so good at that.
Yeah, and it's
it's
a studio album with there's some there's a lot of nuances in there. It's really well crafted.
Yeah.
So Monica was helping you figure out how to record those original demos.
Oh yeah.
And then of course now is in the band playing bass, piano, backup vocals. You have Orion and Austin as well.
Yep.
I love that there's this kind of many-headed hydra, that kind of collective,
And then
where you all play in one another's bands.
Truly, and then I had to add Matt Paul too, because I'm really into horns. I
Absolutely.
wanted to have some sax, for sure. I didn't know at the time if I wanted sax or trumpet, but I really think sax just kind of can carry both worlds pretty well if just one horn is there.
Yeah, and Matt is particularly
He's
adept.
gifted. Yeah.
I think I actually prefer your full band rendition of Pulse to the psychedelic first one, even. And Matt is, obviously has the horns covered.
Yeah.
There. How did that come about? The band covering. I'm interested in
Well,
how
that
you
was
chose the
me.
covers.
I really liked the song.
Yeah.
And I just started playing it. I played it faster.
See the Dancers is a lyric in there. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a number of reasons why it fits thematically, I think.
Tone of the song works.
The pulse of fools like you kind of fits with this focus in the original songs on doubling down on idiot hype and this kind of descent, the pulse of fools. There's this sense of this escalation.
There's the idiot in that song too.
Yeah.
Idiot hype. It's so great. I loved writing that line because I fell for it. I bought some cryptocurrency and went down the wormhole of like, is this it? Is this the next thing?
There's so many
Can I become rich
wormholes.
this way? And all these influencers telling you it's the one.
Why is that?
Shiba Inu. But yeah, and I mean, I had, it was pandemic and I was searching for other things and should have been investing in, electronic car stations.
Also, you were investing in yourself and this music.
Well, yes, and I
Working
was.
academics, yeah.
I mean, just idiot hype is a real thing. It's influencers, and again, we're going back to how really they do influence. And again, and I think in Pulse, I say something. I mean, they say something, but it rang to me. That one is more religious, and I'm not here to just chop religion down, but I'm also saying there's a lot of religion in the world, and I don't think it's any other religion's place to say one religion is going to be damned because they don't follow that other religion's way. When we're all looking at it being one universal creator, I mean, whatever you call it, if you believe that there is a higher power, that's spirituality.
Absolutely.
And I don't think anybody should damn anybody else for their beliefs. So
In Campbell's Soup Kids, Jesus is going to save our souls. In God we trust. Dow Jones. Which in God we trust fund is the opening track on side 2. I like that the back cover has that line to kind of divide side 1 and side 2.
Yeah.
And it made me think of there's the lyric in one of the songs on side 2. It could be cool to play side 2 in From the Dark, actually, in the title track.
Well, and it's kind of what sometimes I try to decide which side I like better of my record. And I like them both in different ways.
That's the right
But
answer.
you get the end of side 1 gets really dark. It takes you there. It
Yep.
starts off kind of anthemically saying what's going on.
That's Great Divide, isn't it?
Great Divide is the last song on side 1. And we're about to go through that feeling again, I think. We're in an election year.
Oh, yeah.
With we already know the rhetoric, and we know the poison that happens, the toxicity that happens between people from the last one.
Yeah.
I am just, some part of me is like, can I go to Portugal for a while? Or,
Right.
heard they like Americans there. Somewhere where I'm not hated, but I can get refuge from my own country. Can I be a refugee?
Portugal is trying.
I'm being patriotic. But I don't know. It's daunting to think about it. It's not good times. It's not at all to me.
No. We were talking about faith and trust and doubt,
Yeah.
I hope. And in God We Trust Fund, there's a really interesting opening to side 2.
They're still there.
That's that's where we have Carnegie Executioner as well.
Yeah, we do.
And I'm really interested in what's going on there. We were just talking about religion and spirituality right before Carnage comes in with greetings. The devil's bid is high is one of your last lyrics before Carnage appears. And then greetings, weak, limited mobility, mortal flesh creature. Let's begin. So Carnage is this character.
Yes, yes.
And Carnage is saying, talking about freedom to live how you desire, vast riches beyond belief. I promise festivity is something that this character says, which is interesting because we were talking about things to celebrate, and the record kind of cultivates, fosters a sense of celebration and festivity. Yeah. What's going on with this, with the character that Carnage is enacting here?
It's the old Robert Johnson story.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the soul snatcher.
You meet and he had a song. That's why I chose. I mean, first I saw him play we played with him with Monica LaPlante at the Borough Block Party. I don't know, a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And he was on right after us. And I was just enthralled by his set because he could just do so much as one person, and he's captivating, and he's an entertainer.
He's great.
And I just saw a maniacal character in him. And I hadn't written this song yet, but I did tell Monica that day that I'm going to work with him someday. Mm. So I already had it in my head. And then I was booking Paul Morrison, Toussaint Morrison. Yeah. Had a show and had Carnage on it. And I got to kind of meet him through that pipeline and started asked him to do a Halloween show because I went down the rabbit hole of booking him and looking him up and realized he had the Soul Snatcher song, and then I went down and listened to the songs, and I was like, well, this is great. This is exactly what I want, that element. And that song was just kind of like, you meet that entity, right? That, like, this is it. And you can have everything. You can have riches, fame, the easy life, but all you have to do is, just give me your soul.
Right. Not much of an ask. Not much.
And in a way, did you already give your soul up at that point anyway? If you could care less, like if you care less of what's in your heart in the end, I don't know. That's the big question. And it was a fun song too, it's always been that folklore about it, and it's a tale that's been told over and over again.
Yeah. So I love how both with the spoken word Carnage section and with the spoken word Cynthia section, it's referencing songs of theirs and kind of housing their song within the new context of your song.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
they brought themselves into it.
Yeah,
and that was my favorite part. Was that was so cool.
So, in God We Trust Fund, is such a good title, and it's one. I think it's maybe my favorite song on the record.
Oh, awesome!
I like that side 2 opens with it, and it kind of the plot thickens in a way. I feel, because if what we were talking about earlier is that there's this, the sea in which we swim has a lot of dysfunction, disconnection, a lot of cultural norms.
Of the ones and
exactly.
To make it out alive.
That's the context in which we are, and then things like dancing or developing a kind of spiritual practices of some kind can help to anchor us.
Yeah.
And then for me, the plot thickens because there is some similarity between what this soul snatcher character is proposing with I promise festivity. Like, we're encouraged by the record to be festive, to find things to celebrate. So how does what the record is encouraging us to commit to?
Well, sure.
How does it differ from what the soul
differs
snatcher
from
offers.
hedonism, I would believe.
Yes.
Festivity always is never going to happen.
Right.
You know, you don't always celebrate.
That's not
This is the
sustainable.
promise, is your streets are made of gold from here on. You've got a car fleet. You're the star. You're
Conquering the
pampered. You
art
don't have to
scene.
worry about the earthly things anymore.
Right.
Like the rest of those minions. You know, like that's the idea. Like, and there are people out there that don't have to worry about
Then
that.
there's disconnection and detachment. The rest of those minions, like,
Right, the
I'm
rest
okay.
of us, real
I'm
pe-
conquering
normal
the art
people.
scene.
Yeah.
Playing on a star team.
Singing at the Opry.
Yeah.
You know, like, not saying that all those people that have that have sold their souls. I'm just saying that in this story, in this narrative, like, you don't have to have all this suffering. You don't have to have that. Which is funny because here on Earth, that doesn't exist. Even all those people that have that don't, like, they have their dark moments, you know. But like, if your whole life, if you want to live on this planet right now, I'm offering you everything is going to be fine here. But when you're done, I'm taking you with me down that hole. I mean, and that's your decision.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That doesn't seem very anchored. If one says, "Oh yes, okay, I'll do that," that sounds like fun. That doesn't seem like very anchored, does it?
Yeah.
And there's a contrast to that and the disconnection and the, you know, I'm separate from all of those like lower people who are not conquering the scene.
Yeah.
In your original song, Code Cyan, it's so you have faith in, and you're encouraging someone else to have faith in themselves. I want to inform you, you're amazing.
Yeah.
That's so wholesome.
Absolutely.
It seems crucial to the record.
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, and you putting In God We Trust one, then into Pulse Band, and just like how influenced we can be, you know. And to me, that's the pulse. It's the pulse of the times. It's the pulse. You know what I mean? It screams that.
The pulse of the fools.
Right, and like maybe be wary in
Yeah.
a way almost, you know. And then the Code Cyan song was a message to it was a letter to my daughter. And we just have a code, and just got that when things get really hard, you know, like that between us. Obviously, she knows this is her song, and we've talked about it, and you know, but when we're at home and we're behind closed doors, you know, we know how to get through things together, and lift each other up, and it's good to have those people in your world too.
Yeah.
We need that community. Again, going back to the reality of it all, and like just the, you know, the brightness that can be there as well.
Yeah. To remind us who we are as well, and that we
Absolutely. That one's just like, be yourself and don't like get pressured into trying to be everything else, and also if you see somebody else that you believe is she's seen some bullying already, and you know, she's protective of people, and I love that.
So she's informing
her.
people that they're amazing. Then
She does too.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
So like, you know, be who you want to be, love who you want to be. You know, she's already had friends who've changed their gender at their young ages, and going through that as well as children. So it's really about be whoever you want to be, and get your head up, keep your chin up. You know, again, the message.
Yeah. No matter what the context, no matter how much dysfunction and duplicity, and there are these, whether it's the soul snatcher or whether it's duplicitous humans, there are all kinds of ways in which you could be tempted to become less connected, and no matter what's
or
happening,
withdraw, like go the other way and bury yourself back into the hole.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's heavy when you're down, you know, and then you feel like, again, it's not always going to be up either. You get struck down every once in a while. You got to go find a way back out.
The only two songs that we haven't zoomed in on are back on side one, Need You Around, which is the other cover.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, Smoking Popes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following song,
Juju
Dolly, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy as it sounds, I Need You Around. That kind of fits with what we were just talking about with Code Cyan and the reminder to one another that of what's special and to be celebrated about each of us. I love the shoo-whoop, shoo-whoop.
Shoo-wop.
Shoo-wop. Yeah. So the covers, I really like the...
I grew up,
this.
my favorite things my parents' records when I was really young, they had the 45s, like Leslie Gore and the Shangri-Las and the Crystals. I would put on Leader of the Pack, I'd put on, all those songs. And I just loved some of the girl group stuff and the doo-wop stuff, and that stuff, it sticks with me.
Yeah.
I must have seen Grease 1,000 times. But I've heard a bunch of like punk and country songs that I was just like, I just want to I want to girl group them, and make them really fun, doo-woppy, shoo-woppy songs.
Yeah.
Shoo-woppy,
Girl
doo-woppy.
groupified the Smoking Popes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. And
how did you select that song, and how did it end up where it is? Because it's on side one. Because it seems like the trajectory to side one and side two is very intentional.
Yeah, I just wanted to break it up right there.
Yeah. So
It's
just
like,
sonically,
here's
it
a
does
fun
fit well
moment
there.
of melodious pop, fun.
Yep.
And I've had a little interlude in there about that came on accident. I was just joking around, and I was like, I said that once, and then I was just kind of riffing on something, and we all decided it was kind of fun and kind of very Shangri-Las to keep the little whatever that was in there. What did I say? Like I can't even remember now. But in the middle of the song, there's like a little spoken word thing I do.
It was a strange and stormy night.
It was a strange and stormy night. I mean, it seems so, like Leader of the Pack kind of, but it fit, and we all laughed, and we just kind of was like,
I'm
I
so
was
sorry
left there
we
with
had
my
that
cat and a broken heart. And it was just like,
I love
it's
that bit.
campy and fun.
Yeah. I'm sorry we had that, because there is a lot of focus on fighting, things going awry, destruction, hurtling towards destruction. So it fits.
Yeah, okay, we came out of 2020 when a lot of, when these started to hatch. So, I mean, that was the air we were in, and then the pandemic started, and woo! But I think still, there's, like I said, there's still fun in all these songs. Even if they have dark messages or light messages, I still breathe in fun and camp. I love John Waters so much. I want to go to John Waters camp for my 50th birthday.
Yeah, I have friends who go.
Do they?
Yep.
Ooh, I've heard that you can get a cabin for 6 people, and it's pretty cheap. Mm-hmm. You didn't hear that. You didn't. I'll hear that. I'm not going to take my cabins.
I'll connect you with my friend, and they can share.
But that's part of me too.
Experience.
Is like I, as much as there are serious connotations, I mean, the songs are going to mean something different to everyone who listens to them. Every song that's written always does.
The fun is part of the serious remedy, though,
I think
to the context that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that we didn't talk about Uranium Baby, which is the single.
Oh yeah.
And that's
when
immediately
we
before.
finally get nuclear war.
Yes.
And those who survive, what's our future generation going to look like?
Right. So we're not, as opposed to the Polaroid snapshot, 1981, a couple of songs earlier. Now here we are in the present. TikTok. There's a reference to so that kind of contextualizes where we are. Can't stop the incoming catastrophic blast. There's a voice at the beginning that says to keep listening as well. What is that?
Which one? Oh,
like right at the beginning
it's like
of Uranium
when you
Baby.
actually that's a
take cover.
I found a whole bunch of old actual. They were public service messages. For when we were going through the Red Scare in the 50s? Mm-hmm. Russia, if this happens and Russia does drop the atomic bomb and duck and cover, but I found a whole bunch that were really, really crazy cool. And then we did the whole like tuning in the stereo because the stereo's going off.
Yep.
You know, when if there were a nuclear bomb, everything would just.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't have any frequencies, maybe not even radio. But back in the old days, before we had all this digital stuff, if you were in your car, you had to use a dial and tune in the radio or the television, and in between the frequencies was that static sound. So the static sound is in there, and that just tells you where I'm coming from. I miss
Absolutely.
that sound, by the way. I used to fall asleep to it. Now I can only watch Poltergeist to hear it. But you know, like, it's like basically somebody's like, "What's going on? What just happened?" And then there was like an old movie I found where like the radio was being tuned in, and everybody was like, and the bomb had dropped, and in New York City a bomb had just landed, and then it's like, so basically, find your bunker.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that song is a kind of zany, playful enactment of the moment of destruction that the record is essentially kind of predicting we're hurtling towards. And then prior to side 2, allowing us to go on a kind of alternative journey through the darkness, which involves kind of reconnecting with the kind of wholesomeness of the Campbell kids and family, interpersonal connection. We've kind of it's nothing new in a way, but reconnecting with that in the context to avoid the incoming catastrophic blast that in the meantime we've experienced.
Blackout of the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we are still talking about that what if between countries, and right now we're still like killing each other pretty hard.
Oh yes.
And we haven't done that quite yet. We did. I mean, Japan is still suffering majorly from it. We've seen the consequences. You remember or hearing about, like, even, was it in Hiroshima? There are people's shadows that are still remaining on the walls from when they dropped.
I didn't.
Like, you can see like outprints where they just disappeared, but it's the moment and their shadow is left.
Wow, harrowing.
Yes, I know, but it really exists.
Wow, yeah.
But I mean, I just like the sheer thought of it, and the destruction of it, and like the actual implications of the what ifs.
Yeah.
This is a fun play on it, and I can't even imagine. I want to make a video for it, what we could do with it, and some sort of trauma effect,
Yeah.
trauma film style video for Uranium Baby, but camp it out and like tra la la, here we are. But it would be again that which was we create things and then we destroy ourselves sort of situation all over again.
Yeah, which is contrasted with we were talking about
technology and all of it.
Yeah, but there's the self-recreation and the destruction involved in that is presented as a kind of these two things exist alongside one another, like the phoenix, like the rebirth we were talking about.
And even if you think about the ice ages, like all the things that came before it that don't exist, but all the things that evolved, like it was meant to happen. It happened, and like everything from that time period disappeared. What if? I mean, it happens. What if this is our own ice age? I don't know. The technological age and the technological era.
Yeah. Well, what I do know is that we are nearing the end, not of Life as We Know, but the interview, at least. And before we do reach the end, let's honor the artwork. There is, so Darren
Kamnitz.
Yeah, is the cover, but both the front and back.
Insert.
Sarah Wolf.
Does
the art
did the
layout.
art and show posters.
Yeah, is that a panther? What kind of cat? Yeah. How do we end up with a panther on this?
That was her. She's like, I just thought it was dark from
red.
It's
suitable.
From the dark, it came to her.
Yeah.
And her amazing brain and how she
from
thinks,
the dark.
but it connects.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Panther seems just right.
Yeah, the idea of the photo came from me though. There's the cover of the record in the back. There's a tunnel sculpture by my house that I stumble through on my way home from my local watering hole in the summer with my friends. We started doing selfies in it in the middle of the night, and they were really cool because it has these cracks and the street light comes through and you kind of can see light in it.
Yeah, very cool.
And then I got the idea of crawling out of it crawling out of the darkness from the dark record. And Darren came and snapped those photos because I know he does it so well. It's amazing.
Darren, did he also take this photograph of the band and the skateboarder, Minor Reese?
Yeah.
And
we've done a few different shoots now. He's gonna come shoot the record release too. And he got it. He's got it.
Could you? I love the randomness of the skateboarder being in the foreground.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
there is the sense of like the positive, wholesome festivity.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the skateboarding culture. I can still drop in on a ramp here and there. And
yeah.
I was a snowboarder and really got into that stuff as a youth. And I still get on it once in a while and ride with my friends. I just like do the bike trails really. But I go for miles and miles on a skateboard. I think that's really a part of me. It's part of my element of who I am. As much as I like pageantry or even like punk rock and the DIY scene and then the polished and like pageantry of some things, I still like the playfulness of things from my youth that I got into then and I still haven't let go of. So.
Yeah. It's striking me as very fitting that most of the listening that I did to the record for my research for the interview was skating. I didn't expect to be able to rollerblade around the lakes at this time of year.
But you did.
But I did, listening to the record. And
That's great.
And then I encountered this skateboarder.
Yeah.
It seems to fit with the fun. There is a commitment to fun, I think.
It's also, we did it in the dark on purpose. The shoot is done in the dark.
Yep.
So
but you're pink. You have pink
I'm
on.
bright.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm very, very bright. And I'm wearing a Shangri-La sweater.
Nice.
Yeah, that was like, you can't see that. But yeah, it was very important for me to have, like, I'm going to have such a serious cover. Like, the cover to me is seriously, it's gritty, it's dark.
Yeah, and with good reason, because we confront a lot of darkness in the record.
Yeah, and there's a beauty to it. So on the back, like, all that picture that Darren took was just, that was like him and how he knows how to use his camera, but those waves of orange and blue are in the dark, but he captured that light.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. So the darkness isn't always a really scary, terrifying place. It's actually there's always an element of light in it, and there's always an element of beauty in it as well. So very like polished, serious outside, but when you open up, you see the band, you see us having fun, you see us at the skate park with my friend Minor. You know, it's still in the dark, but it presents the element of light. To me, it was just like, that works. It just makes you feel the band when you're also playing the record.
Totally. You just said Darren's going to be capturing some of the record
he
release
said
on
he'd come shoot
Saturday.
the show. Hopefully I can use him in many photo shoots. He's just incredible, and it seems to work with me. I met him when my first shoot about this record was for Dispatch like a year ago, and he was sent by Dispatch to come shoot me, and I was like, he came in and we did it in 20 minutes, and I saw his photos and I went, dang, that's really, really fast and really good. He's like, I'm really quick. I'm like, I like that.
So one option for the viewers is to just wait for Darren's wonderful photos. There'll be record of the lovely lights that you're going to be bringing, and Sinton and the Ponds, and Scrunchies, and Citric Dummies.
Citric Dummies.
But of course, better than looking at the photos, I do that too, but better than looking at the photos is to come. It's this Saturday.
To come. It'll be
come
a
and
really
join us.
special night. Lots of shenanigans.
Yeah, Saturday, February 17th. $15, 18 plus, 7 p.m. doors.
I mean, maybe 7:30, but
Okay.
I mean, if you get there early, go get yourself a knot dog or whatever from
The depot.
the depot. Yes, thanks for helping me there.
Yeah, that's what we'll be. This coming Saturday, presumably, Cynthia will
Yeah, you can come
join
see
in.
Cynthia Tantrum.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure if Carnage is going to be there or not. He might be. But yeah, we'll be having, and we have some fun things in store. A couple surprises.
Some surprises.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try and be there. Hopefully you'll be, I mean, you'll certainly be there. You'll be very, very present.
I'm going to knock on wood.
Come and join it. Come and join us.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me today, Christy.
Thank you for having me, Simon.
You're very welcome. That was a fun journey.
Give me a high five.
Yeah, we did it.
That's so sports.
Yeah. And thanks for joining us, to viewers. See you on Saturday. Back to the City will be back next Thursday, and our guests will be Unstable Shapes, who are just about to join me in the MCN6 TV studio to film that episode. So, yep, on the Thursday 22nd, 10 p.m. on MCN6. Join us again for Unstable Shapes. I've been Simon Calder. This is Back to the City. This is Christy Costello. We will see you at the 7th Street entry on Saturday.